Hello and welcome to the February Dillon Dialogue. I am Kerstin Anderson, Director of Marketing and Communications, and I'm here with Mayor Carolyn Skowyra and Councilmember Renee Imamura. Thanks for being here on this beautiful, snowy Valentine's Day.
Happy to be here in the middle of a blizzard, finally some snow.
Yes, me too. It's been great.
Well, Renee, thanks for joining us. This is your first Dillon Dialogue.
This is my first.
Very fun. And you were one of our newer council members. So please take a moment to tell us and tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the county and sort of what led you to your seat on council.
Well, I've been here since 2004. I moved here with my family. I had 3 daughters that I've been raising over the years. And I moved from Japan, so we bought a vacation home and it ended up being my longtime home. Cool. So, yeah, and I have been selling real estate. I got my license in 2008.
Renee, what made you want to join the council?
That's a good question. Since I've been living in the town of Dillon the whole time I've been here, I thought it was a great opportunity at the time that I joined because for a couple reasons. It kind of fell into my lap, to be honest with you. But I have 2 kids in college now, and I still have one left. She's a junior now in high school, and I have a little bit more time. So I thought it was my turn to give back to the community and get involved. And kind of, I've been selling real estate now for over 10 years, and wanted to kind of use my real estate background to help give input from that viewpoint of the town. And it's really the best thing I did. I'm very happy. I haven't been on council yet, even a year yet, but it's been a great opportunity, and I look forward to continue serving and helping Dillon, and giving my opinion and sharing what's best for the town of Dillon. So,
and your expertise.
And my expertise, yeah, it does help, and it also kind of makes me more knowledgeable. It's good to know what's going on in your community. Yeah. And I think before I was just so focused on raising my kids and focused on real estate and another real estate agent actually kind of urged me to do it. Yeah. So I'll never forget, I got all the signatures on this big snowy weekend and decided that, okay, I just had this feeling that I should do this. And so I went for it and I got on it.
Getting those signatures is a great way to meet some people in town that you didn't know before.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. It was great going around where I live in Corinthian Hills and around the town of Dillon. And actually one family wanted to interview me first to make sure that I would be the right fit, which I was okay with that before they would sign.
Right, for this moment right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, for this moment.
Well, and since you're representing the constituents of Dillon, it's important that you are talking to them and getting their feedback.
And
get to know everyone.
It is important, and it's a great opportunity to really help and make a difference. And I really want to, and I think the town of Dillon, also from a real estate standpoint, is growing and going in the right direction, and I get to be a part of it. So I'm so excited for that.
Well, we're so happy you joined, and you won't be able to stay less than a year for much longer. You're coming up on your 1-year anniversary. I
am, actually.
And then you're going to be a veteran.
Then I'll be a veteran.
Veteran council member.
Well, there's still lots and lots to learn, and I always tell myself it's not what I want, it's what the town wants, and communicating with with the residents here and listening to everybody's opinion, that's really important, and getting feedback. And then I try to make my own decision and give my own opinion based on what I hear. So
you sound like you've been doing it for years.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, it's been a great year together, and we'll talk more about this later, but lots of projects have been in front of you. Financially, we've had a great sales tax year, so why don't you give us an update on that, Carolyn?
I'd be happy to. Financially, this year has been a boom for us. Just December, we were up just about 4%, and that's following a December last year, we were up 11% from the year before. So 11% last year, another 4% this year, and then we finished the year overall up 8.5%. And that is following the year before we were up 5%. So we're just seeing a ton of growth in Dillon, like you talked about, Renee, and we're growing, and we have a lot going on, and we just keep adding to it. On top of sales tax, lodging tax is picking up also. So November alone was up 84%.
Wow.
Which is huge. That's almost double. and 27% in December.
Yeah.
We think part of that may be because we have started the conversation about short-term rentals and sort of how to handle your short-term rental and getting that information out to the public on if you're doing a short-term rental, here's what you need to do. And we're making sure that those people are remitting their sales tax and lodging tax.
Yeah, and we had a great open house, right? I can't remember if you were there
I was
or
there,
not.
yeah.
So we brought everyone in. We really wanted to make sure that we were understanding the needs of the community and hearing from both homeowners and people who are renting in a condo block with somebody who might be affected. And, you know, I think it's been really great how you guys have decided to tackle this issue. So we have, as part of a larger community effort or county effort, we're trying to understand what short-term rentals are out there and then make sure people know that they have an obligation to pay their taxes. But you guys didn't want to be heavy-handed. Talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, so really, I describe our short-term rental regulations as short-term light.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And really all it is making sure that everyone who's renting out their property has a business license and then has each of their properties registered with the town so that we can track them and we have that information on file, you know, for our emergency managers, but also for anyone in the community. If there is a problem, it can be reported and we know that that's happening there. So just keeping everyone in the know.
Well, you know, we don't want to stop short-term rentals. We're not trying to do that. We're just trying to be, you know, understanding of people that live here full-time, local people that have disturbances. I mean, you know, if you're going to rent your property, that's great because we want you to do that. You should be able to do whatever you want as a homeowner. However, you know, if there is disturbance or there's trash or there's a lot of noise, then I think, you know, that has to be handled.
Getting a contact for people.
Getting a contact.
So along with having a contact who is available, I don't know what the exact, it's within an hour or something to respond.
Yep.
Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary from what everyone else is doing. There's also going to be a hotline.
Yeah.
Ours is going to be up and running beginning of March is what I believe. And that number is going to take a lot of those phone calls out of town hall and out of the non-emergent dispatch line so that our 911 operators aren't dealing with partiers in the middle of the night. When the only problem is noise, they probably don't need to call 911. Yeah. So they'll have a different phone number to reach. It'll be available to everyone. Dillon, like I said, will be up and running in early March. And that'll be a great resource, I think, to our community.
I think so too.
So the other things that have happened, we've sent out letters to all our residents so they understand what the process is. You get a business license, you pay a short-term rental fee, and then you're required to submit certain detail as it relates to health and safety for their guests, and also that contact information. And
that was a countywide effort.
Yeah.
So we're in that with the rest of the county that everybody, when you show up to your rental, is going to have an 8x10 posted somewhere around the door in case there is an actual 911 emergency. They can tell that person, look for this piece of paper, here's what it looks like, it'll be within 10 feet of your door, and that'll tell you your address
pertinent information.
All the pertinent information that person may need.
As you know from getting signatures, when you're out in front of City Market and you're collecting signatures or something like that, people who are in Summit Cove or Dillon Valley are actually unincorporated Summit County and not Dillon proper. And so, you know, when we have confusion about that as residents, you know that when somebody comes and they've rented off the internet and the description is maybe, you know, in quaint neighborhood, they don't know where the heck they are. So having that accurate information is super important. So more to come on that. We've seen tons of people coming into our town clerk, and I think that has a lot to do with that growth that we saw, which is great. Yeah. Switching gears a little bit, you guys had a retreat recently, and you know, kind of run us through what you talked about there and some of the things. There's a couple of actionable items that came out of that. Talk to everyone about, you know, what our next year is going to be looking like.
Well, we basically met to try to figure out, you know, to take all the comments from the public of what they want the town to to end up being and the new developments and all that. So we met just to try to figure out what's most important to the town. And walkability, I think, was a huge thing, that everybody wanted to be able to walk to different places and see the lake and be able to walk to different, the park there's a new park, park is being in the next, well, actually the
Town
summer.
Park, yeah.
Couldn't get that out of my mouth. So we discussed all that. And
So I think we reaffirmed our commitment to the town center and to revitalize the town center. And we identified, like Renee said, walkability, sort of dealing with the impending problem of parking. And then what are we going to do about it? And then housing. The question is, do we need to put people in the downtown? Do we need to put people outside of the downtown? Do we need to put businesses in the downtown? But we sort of zoned in on getting the town park up and running, and then getting people on foot into our town center as our number one goals.
And I think you guys are both right. We hadn't had development in quite a while, and then all of a sudden we have projects going out of the ground. And so when you haven't heard from the public in a while, there's nothing like a project that gets people sharing opinions. And so it's, I think it's good to touch base again with the comprehensive plan, with former studies, and as a team to really look at where you're going to focus, and that's what came out of that meeting. So we've launched the walkability study. I think is going out this week or shortly.
Sometime soon.
They had a meeting just recently on the parking study. So basically, hey, as we grow and within the confines of our code, where can we park people that is going to be convenient and support businesses and support residents, but also help that pedestrian traffic flow through town. So all really good. And I think, with these projects coming out of the ground, we are going to have several more residents. And so how do we pause on some of the other work that we had been doing with putting out an RFP for the land and working with Portmanteau Properties to talk about maybe some development down there. But how do we put a pause on that and see how we can be additive in the future and support what is in place right now, and then move forward with just in alignment. So great job. So let's talk about some of those particular projects that are coming out of the ground.
Well, number one in my mind is Christie Sports, because it is out of the ground.
It's out of the ground, and it looks great.
It's out of the ground. It's starting to really come together. You can start to envision that cool architectural design they brought to us.
How happy must those workers be now that there's
closed in? There were a couple of days in December where I thought we were going to have human popsicles floating off that thing. But
that's true.
I haven't heard of anything crazy going on there. So that's a beautiful flagship store for Christie Sports. And
have you guys heard when it's going to open? Do you know? Or
they were hoping for.
I know they were hoping for December, and I know that didn't happen.
And so they're. I'm not sure.
I haven't heard it, but I was under the impression it was a 3 to 4 month delay. So I guess I'm expecting March or April.
April. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it's coming along now that you drive by it, and it's
that'll
up.
be great. That'll be fantastic. I just got some new skis. Hopefully I can get them in there.
Hopefully you can use them on Friday.
No kidding. Well, my bindings don't work with them. So.
Yeah, I think all the residents are going to be happy to have a new Christie Sports state-of-the-art building to go into and shop.
And then right behind that Christie Sports, we've approved an urgent care center with some condos associated with it. So I guess I haven't heard when they're planning on breaking ground.
They've actually started marketing it now. Liv Sotheby's has the project, and there's 18 condos. I actually just went to a broker open house where they were kind of talking about the project, and so that's going to be. They're all going to have lock-offs, 18 condos with lock-offs, so they're on the market right now.
And Dr. Assi, who its project it is,
a developer. He's
such a lovely gentleman, and he came here. He recreates here, and he was on a trip here, and his son had a accident and bumped his head, and they wanted to take him in, and it was like off hours. And so based on that experience, his desire to want to move to this community eventually, and then that experience, he said, wow, there's really a need in terms of weekends and after hours and affordable care that I think I can fit here. So he's so passionate about this project, and I think it's going to be really great for the community to have some of those options.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. It's and the real estate's pretty good. He's not really making any money on the real estate, I'm told. I mean, they're priced pretty well. So
They're trying to just offset the cost of the clinic.
cost of the clinic, yeah. And then the clinic will be their prime project to make money and to have.
Yeah.
So which will be
great.
a great addition to the town of
We
Dillon.
love having a good community partner doing
Yes.
the developments.
Yep, it is good. We need that.
And then some other
Another health
familiar
news.
players in the community. We have Vail Health going in just in front of the movie theater in that sloping lot.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I think there are 4 players, and I'll try to name them, but maybe you guys can jump in. Vail Health, Vail Summit Orthopedics, Stedman Hawkins, and Howard Head.
Yep.
Howard
Is it?
Head
Okay.
Sports Medicine.
Yep.
You got 'em
So
all.
those guys are all open. It's a beautiful 100,000 square foot medical facility, surgery center, urgent care center.
Yeah.
Which is going to be nice.
And then physical therapy offices, and
Yeah.
how many people do we know who have gone and had
Yeah.
surgery? from
Everyone.
them? My husband.
That just
multiple
shows
times.
you how great Dillon is doing, because now you guys have options. They don't have to just rely on the
Sure.
medical building in Frisco.
And
now
when we
they have
talk-
options in Dillon.
And when we talk about resilient communities, that's bringing in a wide array of jobs.
A new industry that
Exactly.
that really isn't represented in Dillon at all right
At
now.
all. Yep.
And it's funny, it's in keeping with Dillon that we would have 2 of them coming out of the ground, because we have multiple thrift stores,
Yes, yeah.
lots of dentists, lots of
Yeah.
acupuncture. We like to
Get
Get a
something,
theme and
get
stick
something
with
and
it.
run with it. Yeah. So where are all those people going to stay who come to the surgery centers?
Wow, we have a new hotel coming.
hopefully. So that actually is coming before, they came before council in early February.
Yeah.
It was continued so that you guys could have some time to look through the plans, and it'll be coming back on February 19th. As
that's
part of a
Homewood
public
Suites.
hearing,
Yep.
so Homewood Suites. So we invite anyone who's available to come join us on the 19th, and we're not going to say too much more about that because we're in quasi-judicial state with the development application. But
we do invite and encourage you to come to our meeting.
Come to our
and,
meeting.
And it will be a public hearing, so we're interested to hear what you have to say.
Great. And then in terms of housing and new retail, we have
Uptown 240.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Uptown 240 is going where the Italian restaurant used to be, Adriano's.
Yep.
And it's going to be a big giant restaurant on the first floor. And then
5,000 square foot restaurant,
High-
80 condos,
and then
with
80
a
high-end
fitness
condos.
facility. Yeah, it's going to be, and the architectural design is beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
it
going to
is
be
beautiful.
super nice, high end, and
that's another family project. So the Autoborgos have
Autoborgos.
been in Dillon for
years.
decades. And they have a lot of love to bring a project like this. And so it's
To our
been fun
town.
to watch that. I mean, as they were in the other day and they were talking about the project, and it's been 8 years since the first time they came before council getting this project off the ground.
And I think it's been even longer than that. Since conceptually, I think it's been
Yeah, I think-
12 years or so since they've gotten their creative juices flowing. So yeah, it'll be, again,
good.
community partners. It's so great to have people from our community investing in our community.
Totally agree.
And then
Sail Lofts.
Yep, Sail Lofts.
Is the second phase. So it's the first phase I think is almost sold out, and then they're building a second phase in the town of Dillon too. So those are going to be great too.
And so what that means, that's great for Dillon. It also means that we have a lot of logistics and especially a lot of traffic and parking issues that we're going to be dealing with starting this summer and over the course of the next year. So we've met with those developers and have been talking to them about off-site parking plans, and particularly talking about event days and Fridays and when there might be conflict, and trying to formulate plans. And so we hope to be as successful as we can be at that, but we know construction orange cones.
Yeah.
We're going to have to be patient.
And not just developers, it'll be us. The
too.
town is contributing to some of the construction this
Yeah.
summer. We will be starting phase one of our
park.
town park
Yeah, the town park.
redevelopment. So,
Yay.
so
That's going to be great.
I guess maybe now's the time to break the news to the tennis and pickleball players.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We will be down to one court for most of the summer.
Yep.
But silver lining, you'll have a brand new court at the end of the summer, and then next
courts, right?
one brand new one,
One brand new one, okay.
old one
Okay.
this summer, and then next summer one brand new one, and then
Okay.
at the end of the summer two brand new ones.
Okay,
So
and a walkway and a beautiful new park with new. There's going to be new kids.
eventually there's going to be this really cool sort of like different park design than any of the other parks around here. It's more of like a natural play theme. There's going to be a new ball field.
Okay.
We're putting in next
Playground.
summer.
That's what I was saying. A new playground
New
too.
playground.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
So
what I was trying to say.
I don't think the playground's coming next year though.
No.
We're doing the electrical to sort of get ready for all that stuff. We're
Okay.
prepping the events plaza, which is going to be on the corner, and hopefully is also going to be the spot of our new Dillon Summit stage,
Oh.
Dillon stop.
Yep.
So we're going to
That
have
would
a
be great.
nice corner that's sort of finished and is welcoming and not just a bench sitting at the end of a parking lot. It's going to feel like a place you want to be. We will have one new tennis court and a new opening between the tennis courts
For the
to create
walkway.
like a nice space to walk into. The second part of the construction next summer is going to be creating the events, I don't know how to, the plaza space for the farmers market. So,
Okay.
so this summer, the farmers market is still going to be on Lodgepole where it was last summer, right off the lake. And then hopefully next summer, or maybe the summer after that, I guess sort of depending on construction.
Yeah.
But anyway, next summer we're working on this space to create an off-street separated with sort of a landscape barrier
And I think that's happening in the fall.
in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
awesome.
so we'll start construction on that, and then in the next couple of years, get the farmers market back over to that corner, but have a protected space that doesn't block the streets from traffic.
Right, or take up parking,
Yep.
so it keeps that parking available, and it's going to be beautiful.
It is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have another unique park. Some of the features that have been talked about is the climbing wall too. Really
Oh, yeah, I
nice
forgot
walking
about that,
paths that
yeah.
will integrate with our community gardens, which I think are so cool. So it should be lots of fun. A splash pad. Can we find the money for that? Because where else has that? You know, I think the more we can think about how to be additive and
I mean, if we're spitballing here, I'd really like to see an ice skating rink.
That's
Where
an idea.
maybe the splash pad is a
Splash
summer
pad,
thing, and then
yeah.
it turns into an ice skating
skating
rink in the winter.
I'd be good with that.
We'll see.
So that does mean that the farmers market will be down on its location by the water at Lodgepole, which is beautiful and lots of fun.
Yeah.
I always think it's going to be hard to get people to want to come back up from there, but I know we'll have a tough wind weather year, and then we'll break it to them.
That's
We'll
all I'm
back
saying.
up, and
One big
everyone will be ready.
windstorm and
Yeah. Speaking of events, we had a really great discussion where the events team came to you guys and talked a little bit about the vision. We obviously know we have this beautiful facility. We've gotten so much positive buzz. We successfully had our first paid concert. And so what is, talking about what is the next 3 to 5 year plan and then beyond for what programming looks down there. And you guys had just the best robust discussion. So give an update on that.
So I'm happy to kick this one off. The amphitheater discussion for me is all about finding the right balance. This is, for me, deep down in my heart, the amphitheater is our hometown facility. It's like you go there and you love it, and you can feel it in your heart. But what we built is something that's, you don't have to feel it in your heart to go there and think it's the best place you've ever been. You can come from anywhere and all over and know that you're at one of the most amazing venues you've ever been at. So we're sort of trying to reconcile how do we keep that feeling of this is a hometown place, but also this is probably nationally and maybe internationally at some point known
As
venue.
a state-of-the-art amphitheater.
State-of-the-art amphitheater. And how do we reconcile those things and keep that feel? And so you want to talk
Yeah.
about what we landed on, Renee?
Well, we talked about like the paid concerts, right?
Yeah.
And so what we've decided, we're gonna have still free concerts, and we're trying to figure out like the dates for those. But we're also, because we listen to the community, and we really want it to to keep that going. But we also, since we've spent so much money on this amphitheater, we want to have known bands and concerts come into the town and have paid concerts too. So that will help generate more money into the town of Dillon as well. So we're trying to satisfy, what would you say, both?
I think the model we're going for, is that we have this facility that these huge bands want to come to. And then we can charge tickets because people want to pay for these big bands.
Right.
And then that money allows us to maintain our free concert series and increase the quality.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to provide a better free product and a better paid product. And I guess what we landed on was 6 to 8 paid concerts.
Yeah.
This summer and I think for the next couple of years probably. I think it's a year by year.
I mean, I think we are shooting to be consistent and have some consistencies, what I got from your feedback.
Yep.
We had that survey data that we'd sent out, and we had a pretty nice respondent rate. And a lot of what we were hearing was we love to go to the amphitheater. We love our free concerts, and also, hey, we're willing to pay for national acts because how special is it to see some of your favorite bands at that location? So we're looking to do some stuff sort of early season and late season. We know we'll have opportunities that land within the height of the summer season, but making sure that there's free opportunities as well. And, really it's a balancing act. But we're going to try and stay pretty consistent with that number over the next couple of years. So we've announced today is Lake Street Dive is going to be playing August 3rd, the Saturday. Yes, thank you. At the amphitheater, and that's going to be a paid show. Tickets go on sale, pre-sale today. So we had people going down to Affordable Music and Gary's, and that's a fun partnership. We will probably try and set up that model that we can either provide a advance sale or a discount sale or a limited quantity to county residents, and we just and work with a local business partner to do that. So we love that. We're working on another early show that we should be able to announce in the next couple of weeks here that will hopefully land in early June. The Colorado Symphony is coming back, and that was a paid show last year, and we're bringing them back as a free show on July 10th, which is a Wednesday.
Oh, that's nice.
We know the National Repertory Orchestra is going to come play for us July 19th.
We'll have a concert on the 4th of July, which is again going to be the Air Force Academy Band, which they were a lot of fun last year. And
Yep, we love them. And so, and now that we're starting to get just a few of those national acts solidified, then we'll start layering in some of the other, we're looking at sort of maybe a reggae concept, and we're looking at a blues concept. And then, of course, the tried and the true, the Hazel Millers, the Nacho Men, that people just love. So stay tuned. We're really trying to get ahead of the concert schedule and get it out early. So I'm hoping to really have that solidified by the first few weeks of March here.
everyone's looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That would be great.
It's going to be very fun. And so with that, I think we're about to wrap it up. If you guys just want to remind everyone when our meetings are.
Yeah, so it's always the first and third Tuesday of the month. So, don't be a stranger. Come visit us and, voice your opinion. We always have a comment for the community to comment 5 minutes. So, give us your feedback and your suggestions. We're always here to listen.
Yeah. We'd also like to take the opportunity to remind everyone to sign up on townofdillon.com for our email. It comes out twice a month before each meeting, so you'll have all the information that the council gets. And if you have anything you want to contribute or you have an opinion on something that's on the agenda, take a look beforehand and come on into the meeting every first and third Tuesday and speak during public comment. We'd love to have you.
Website. You can also, everything that we've discussed today, you can read it all on it again.
Absolutely.
And try to, because I think people forget about that.
Yeah.
They don't think anything's going on. I'm like, but have you read the Town of Dillon website? Because there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
So.
Well, thanks for being here with us today. We hope to see you again soon.